All right. Here we go. Welcome to the live stream. How you all doing? Welcome back to another one. Feeling good today. Feeling good. It's hard not to feel good, considering the last time I did a live stream, I had no sleep. But this time, your boy's well rested, ready to tackle it. Ready to have a good time. Gonna get a quick audio and visual check before we get straight into it. Not gonna waste too much time on this one today, ladies and gents. Just let me know if everything's alright. I'm just waiting to see the comments and all that. My phone is going crazy right now. You hope I elaborate on the increased supply of LUNA. We're going to be talking about LUNA. Where is LUNA at today? If LUNA's still in, it can't be in the top 100 now. There's no way. If it's still in the top 100, nah, yeah, it's not. No way. It was in the top. It crashed like 99%. It was still in the top 100. It was crazy. Good, all good, perfect. Gum sounds loud. Let me take that out. Sorry about that. Completely forgot. Where is LUNA right now? I'm curious. We're gonna be chilling on this live. Oh, 2 cents. 2 cents. Ditch the chewing gum. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Really sorry. Yeah, 2 cents for LUNA. God damn, that is something. We're gonna be having a little bit of a chilled live stream again, as usual. I'm here for as long as you guys want me here. I've got the day clear for you all, at least for the next few hours. We're going to be going through my Bitcoin analysis, going to be going through your questions. I want to talk a little bit about navigating losses. We've already done some stuff on that, but obviously this is pretty current for a lot of you. A lot of you are not happy with where you are. You're going to be getting tough love from your boy today. You know the deal. You know the deal with me. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. If you feel bad about yourself because you've lost money, it's because you probably should be feeling bad about it. And all of that. And so we're going to work through it. There's a lot that I want to talk about. I want to talk about how, we could be looking at an explosion right now for Bitcoin. Are we going to be pumping back up to 60K? There's a lot to go through. So if you're ready for this, thank you all for tuning in. Do me a favor. Smash up the likes. Let's smash up those likes. Let's get those likes pumping up. Only at 500 viewers, so YouTube's not going to send out the notification to people who do want to watch this live stream, unless YouTube sees some engagement. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. I don't make the rules. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's talk about what's been going on. Okay, so Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame ended up slipping below my box right here. That represents the main area of support that Bitcoin was holding. We took a quick little dip down and recovered it. But on that second attempt, this is where it became very obvious that we'd probably be dipping a lot lower. We fell down. We got a kiss of death. Fell much lower, down to a low of 25.3. But the candles closed right pretty much at my box right here, which is great because I made a video on this about 18 hours ago. Something like that, maybe less, where I was defining for you guys what these ranges look like. So if you watched that video, hit up the likes because that was super accurate, and that was literally just yesterday where I was talking about that. Do me a favor and smash up the likes if you appreciated that. And if you didn't see it, then make sure you're subscribed because, again, it's not okay to be missing out on information like that during a market like this. Every hour makes a difference. And it's not even in terms of, something to trade. It's just you need to be aware of these levels. If you're not even aware of these levels, you're at such a big disadvantage. So definitely make sure that you are subscribed as well so that you don't run that risk anymore. But yeah, taking a look at that. Yeah, just beautiful accuracy right there. Very, very nice. From there, we ended up rallying up back to the $30,000 level. We didn't actually hit 30K. We hit a high of $29,850. But that's okay. And the price has continued to drop down now. The thing is, if we stick to these shorter term time frames, by the way, guys, thank you all for hitting up those likes. Is Carl okay? Yeah, really appreciate all the engagement. Thank you all for smashing up those likes. If you are enjoying all this content at these hot moments in the market, you know, one of the things that I want to draw your attention to is the lagging indicators that are providing resistance to the market right now. For the most part, they still haven't caught up to the trend. Take a look at this. This is the 1 hour Ichimoku cloud. This is brilliant. You know, the analysis is so easy at times like this. You know, like you've noticed that like since we've dropped down, our analysis has been 100% correct. It's hard to get it wrong when the market is so volatile because you know, you end up doing things that are pretty obvious. You know, we fell down to the bottom of this range. We got a bounce. The bounce was not as strong as I expected, but I was expecting a bounce. And then we dipped down. We found support in this range. We came back up for resistance. I mean, it's textbook. I mean, the market is super healthy right now. And so one of the things that means is that my analysis style is seamless. You know, it goes like smooth butter on bread, because what this indicator is showing us right now, this 1 hour Ichimoku cloud, is very simply that if the market continues to hold this level into tomorrow, so tomorrow, just one day, this range is probably going to give us a little bit of resistance. That's on the 1 hour Ichimoku cloud. Now, with the EMA ribbon, we're already in that resistance band, and the last times that we've tackled this resistance area, going back as far as the 6th of May, so 6 days ago, every time the price hit this ribbon, we ended up getting a rejection. Every single time without fail. Look at that. Look at the accuracy on that. You know, I don't pick these indicators for no reason, ladies and gents. These are very strong indicators. We teach you all about them, how to use them, how to get them, all that good stuff inside of the 𝗪𝗪𝗥𝗙𝗦 Academy course, which you can take advantage of right now for 25% off by following these steps on screen. Pause the live stream, follow these steps, come right back. My assistants are online right now, so we can enroll you during this live stream. It's hot in there. There's a lot going on. I won't spoil it. But yeah, 1 hour EMA ribbon, definitely giving us something to be concerned about. In fact, it's already rejected us right here. The thing is, you know, these indicators, they don't last forever. I mean, right now there is a bit of a spread, so I am taking it seriously, but you can't just keep on moving down in a straight line forever. So I got to zoom out a little bit, take a look at this on the 4 hour. And the resistance hasn't caught up to us on the 4 hour time frame right here. All right, the resistance has not caught up to us on this time frame. And to me, that is an indication, again, that if the market is able to either continue moving up or just move sideways, both of those things are going to give these resistance lines a chance to continue moving down, and the market will probably trade right into them. And just like we did on the 1 hour time frame, I'm definitely expecting resistance from here on the 4 hour time frame. In fact, I'm expecting more. So here's the deal, is that if the market does continue to hold this level, this is just short-term analysis, by the way. Long-term, I'm more bullish than I think I've ever been in my life on Bitcoin, because obviously it would have made more sense to be bullish at price levels like 3K, but the difference back then is that I had some really small, super small, almost non-existent, but small doubts that Bitcoin would maybe not recover. But this time, the way I'm seeing in the market, you know, what's going on, I'm so sure that we're going to recover. I'm more sure than I've ever been, because people are being really stupid. and that's really what it comes down to. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but you know, if you just listen to the kind of things that people are saying in this market right now, it's almost like there's like a little fucking thing you can turn right here, and it just lowers your IQ, and everyone's just gone to their head and just like cranking that shit back, lowering their IQ as much as they can. This is how it feels listening to how people are talking in this market right now. And I don't know, maybe that's just because I'm not really, you know, as affected by this as other people, because, you know, I don't engage in alts the way other people do. I do engage in alts. I like to make money on them, but not like the LUNA holders or anything. You know, and maybe it's just because I've sat through these cycles before, but you know, long term, super bullish, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I mean, let me spoil that for you really quickly. You know, one of the key reasons I'm so bullish is because this is not the worst dump we've ever seen for Bitcoin, and it's so normal. It's so normal. And mind you, every single time that we got a big dump like this, something good happened afterwards. So, I mean, maybe that's hard for you guys to believe right now, but it definitely is what has always happened in the past. Just looking at the live chat, you guys are all talking about LUNA right here. Can I speak to the utility of any top performers once we're forced into... I have no idea what that question means, bro. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about that. Guys, smash up the likes as we're coming in here. Got 800 people on this live stream. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you are enjoying this content, if you like the fact that we're live again, smash them up. Drop your comments in the live chat. I am reading them. Let's stick to the short-term analysis for now. I am getting carried away a little bit. What I want to talk about just for the moment now is these potential resistance areas and what might be happening as a result. So that's the 4-hour EMA ribbon. Let's take a look at the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. Still very far away. Very far away. You know, I'm hearing some talk of, you know, Bitcoin potentially going up to like 36, 37, and then maybe continuing on down. I think that's super likely. The reason I think it's likely is I think, you know, if I told this to you, most of you would be like, no, that's not going to happen. No, we're not going to 36. It's hard to imagine going to 36 right now. The big problem really is that we have so much resistance here. You know, this yellow box, this big yellow box right here, this is big resistance. And, you know, to break it is going to be no easy task. But if we do end up rallying up, what that's going to do is serve as a correction for this market. You see, we've pretty much within 2 legs, but this is because there was no pause. It's almost like this all happened in one leg. We've pretty much just dropped like a stone, ladies and gents. Yeah, absolutely dropped like a stone. And because of that, you know, I do feel like some correction is necessary. Now, the thing is in very bearish markets, we might just get, you know, like a sideways correction and then keep dropping down, you know, which is the same in bullish markets, by the way. You know, if we take a look at what happened in, I think it was December or January of 2021 or December of 2020. What was it? It was December. You know, when the market was super bullish, you know, whereas generally, you know, we'll rally up, and then we'll kind of move down a little bit and then continue rallying up. You know, that's a very standard pattern. You know, we actually printed that pattern right here. Look at this. Rallied up, slowly fought the trend, and then continued moving up, right? This is super normal in these markets. You know, what we had over here, because the market was so bullish, is we couldn't push the price lower. I mean, the bears tried, but buyers just kept on stepping in. I mean, look at these wicks, guys. You know, the market did drop down a little bit, but there were buyers. This is on the 4-hour time frame. It's quite short-term view of the market. Buyers were ready to step in really quickly. And so we didn't really get like a slow grind down. We just paused. We just went sideways, and then the trend continued. You know, when you can view the market with this perspective and really separate, like, you know, this phase right here. Oh, let me get my paintbrush. Like this phase right here is the market actively trending. This phase right here is the market pausing. This is the market actively trending again. This is the market pausing. This is the market trending. It becomes very easy to understand where in the cycle we are. And that's critical, because if you're trying to trade it like I am, and all of that is going inside of VIP, by the way, it's really hot right now. It's all popping off. Check it out if you haven't done so already. If you're trying to trade the markets, you need to have a very good understanding of where we are. You know, so let's go ahead and do that for a hot minute right here. Let's stick to the 4-hour. You know, look, we had a pretty clear, you know, kind of situation where the market was trending during this little area right here. It paused. It started trending again. And right now, we're just kind of, we're correcting, you know, we're moving up. But the thing is if you zoom out, I mean, this has been quite a sell-off, you know. I mean, how long can we really, you know, continue just dropping down like this, you know, before we have something more significant? Because even in the most heinous of corrections that we've seen in this market, this was an exception. But let's take a look at another one. See, like when Bitcoin gets super bearish, this is the thing. It dumps, it trades sideways, and then it dumps some more. That's what Bitcoin does. And you know, we could be doing that. It would actually make a lot of sense if we were. You know, if we do start seeing Bitcoin just literally bounce between this 26K level and the 30K level, and just kind of, you know, for a little bit, it doesn't have to be long. I mean, I'm showing you this on the daily time frame, but you know, we can do this on the hourly time frame. Just literally a couple of days. I mean, up to the 15th is good enough. That would, I mean, let's say this is how the market actually moves, right? Let me do this. Let me get the ghost feed tool, and let me draw out what this might look like. Bam, right there. Then again like that, and now we're in the 14th of May. Now we're on the 15th, right? If we kind of form a pattern that looks a little bit like this, let me see if I can I make these even thicker so you can see it? Oh, it's already, these are not very bold colors, are they? Sorry guys, one sec. There we go. This is a little bit easier to see now. Bam, right there. So this gives you a bit of a visualization of, you know, what the market could be doing. If you look at, you know, this is a very cool indicator right here. Take a look at this. Let's wait for it to load. This is the moving average forecast, and we'll look at this on the 4-hour time frame. And you start to see, you know, how these moving averages could be curving down. Now, these are not the same moving averages that I use, to be very clear. Let's get the 21, and let's remove this one. Bam, there we go. This is the 21. So this shows you where the 21 EMA is right now on the 4-hour time frame, and where it would be going. And you can see, like, it's gonna hit the price action squarely. I mean, tomorrow, and this is on the 4-hour time frame, right? So if like this is kind of the point I'm trying to get at, is that the market just needs to trade sideways for resistance to catch up. And as soon as that resistance catches up, like what this is, what the EMAs are, exponential moving average ribbon, no, just exponential moving average. The ribbon is what I use, but EMA stands for exponential moving average. All that is a display of momentum, all right? So if we end up having that momentum catch up, so like right now we're below the line, right? If we're below the line, that means we're in a bearish market. The momentum is bearish. As soon as that momentum catches up with the trend, which is what's going to happen when when the price hits these. Let me draw this again because this looks kind of ugly. In fact, let me get the ghost feed tool. No, the bars pattern tool, and I'm just going to duplicate this right here. This makes it even easier. Bam, look at that. This is a very, very cool thing to be able to use. And let's thicken that. Bam, there we go. Can we stretch this bad boy out a little bit? Yes, we can. It's not ideal though. Anyway, this is good enough. Let's head back here. I want to show you what this looks like, ladies and gents, because this is legit. This is legit. Bam, 25, 30. Why am I choosing these numbers? Just because that's what I'm used to. No particular reason. But, you know, you can start to see a bit of an EMA ribbon here. This is kind of like the EMA ribbon, you know, template that I use. Look at this, like that. That's kind of what we're looking at. It's just that with this indicator, it forecasts what's going to happen next as well. You know, so you get the picture. This is going to, yeah, just move straight into... Yeah, this is going to move straight into the price action. And, you know, I'm going to expect that a little bit more selling pressure enters the market at that point, you know, because, well, I mean, that's what happens as we are, as we're at resistance levels. And again, it's not just the EMA ribbon, you know, this also applies with the Ichimoku cloud, you know, this here on the 1-hour time frame. Look at how squarely this hits the market. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna hit it. we're gonna hit it if we trade sideways here, and we're gonna hit it if we move up. So it's almost like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because even, I mean, if the price drops, then okay, the drop is already coming. So this is the thing that I want you guys to be looking out for. Now, if the market manages to just, kind of almost randomly pull a lot of strength out of its ass and start, rallying up, then we still, we're not in the clear, because we've lost so many support areas. Let me just, take all this off now. The issue is that, like we could rally up, but there's just going to be so much resistance up ahead, right? So we can break the, the 4-hour EMA ribbon, which would be hard, but, I mean, we can break it. I mean, right now it stretches from 30 to 33. But the problem is if we break it, we're then going to have the 1-day EMA ribbon. Like there's just resistance upon resistance upon resistance. And this is what I really want you guys to stay level-headed about as we approach this next phase of the market. Because I'm definitely expecting some sort of reversal, okay? Like, from this high to the low that we set, that's a 47% fucking drop, all right? And that happened in less than 2 months. That's bloody massive. That's a really, really, I mean, it's basically halved, and you just don't get such severe drops like that without some sort of reaction rally. And what a lot of people are going to do, and we're going to see this printed on the Fear and Greed Index, is that if we do get that reversal, a lot of people are going to instantly start believing it. And they're going to think that the market's coming back. Because if we get the reversal, it's likely to be quite strong. Take a look at this. Let me show you how these kind of reversals have gone in the past. Here's a great example, right? If I replay the chart right here, show this to you on the 1-hour time frame, look at how strong this bounce was, ladies and gents. This was the March coronavirus market crash. The price drops down from 6,000 right here to a low of 3,800. And immediately in the next 2 hours afterwards, it pumps up by 50%. That's in the next 2 hours afterwards, right? So this is a very short space of time for the market to blow up. I mean, really, really shoot up. And a lot of people are going to believe that that's something legit. They're going to believe that the thing is coming back. And, there's a good chance they might be correct. Obviously, you would have been correct at this instance over here. But, there's, it can break resistance that's over here, and there's going to be a resistance here. And it can break this resistance, and there's going to be resistance here. And the problem is that the higher we go, progressively, the stronger that resistance is going to be. Because see, like right now, we've got the 1-hour EMA ribbon. Whatever, I'm not too worried about a 1-hour EMA ribbon. It is resistance, and it's been very, very useful lately, but it's just not the strongest sign of resistance, in my opinion. By the way, guys, smash up the likes if you're just tuning into this live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Trying to get this up to 1,000 likes. Got about 350 people that have already done it. Thank you all so much for your support. We're going to be covering altcoins, your questions, and all that as well very shortly. I just want to give these explanations while I'm here, so do me a favor, smash up those likes as we continue. Yeah, we're gonna, 1 hour resistance, I'm just not too worried about it. But then we've got the 4 hour a little bit, ahead, and then we've got the 1 hour ahead of that. The 1 day ahead of that. And the 1 day, when there is a spread on the ribbon, which means when you can see each individual line. So not like here, you can't distinguish each line over here, but you can right here. That's generally when this indicator is quite useful. And, we've got that spread. So look, these are just things that I want you guys to keep in mind, because people are just not staying level-headed right now. They're panicking, and look, panic if you want to, but that's not what we're here for. I don't think you'll ever see me panicking about these markets. I've already had that phase in my life. So anyway, that's what I want to draw your attention over to, just in terms of where these resistance levels are, because just kind of going off that, yeah, it's not in the best of places, where this market is at just at the moment over here, and yeah, you ought to be aware of that, so that none of these things can take you by surprise. So that's this resistance area covered. I would love to see us penetrate back into this range. I think there's so much resistance to capture here. The higher we go, the better, really, because it's going to be a good opportunity for people to exit their positions. One of the things that I think people just, I don't know if they're stupid or they just don't know. Probably the latter. Probably people just don't know. But you know, it's a good thing if people are selling. You know, it's a good thing. And the reason it's a good thing, let me break this down for you. The reason that it's a good thing if people are, you know, selling at these kind of areas is that anyone that had weak hands that was going to sell, that, you know, was subject to panic, is leaving the market, which means they don't have any supply anymore that they can dump. You know, I don't know how to say this. This is like, yeah, I mean, if somebody wanted to flood the market and crash the price of an asset, of course that's not nice, you know, before it happens, because you are anticipating a drop. But once it's already happened, the damage is done, right? The only thing that's going to be left are going to be people that are buyers. And so it's not like, if somebody, put it this way, right? The price is at 28,000 now. If somebody panic sells their Bitcoin, if it reaches 35, the only thing they can do from that point is buy Bitcoin, right? And this is why, you know, one of the things that is really important that 𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗧𝗏 brought up, guys, at times like this, you know, I think I'm a decent analyst, but at times like this, I watch people like 𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗧𝗏. I want to know what they're saying. People like 𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏, people like 𝗪𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗏. You guys know these are my two role models in trading. They are my two like coolest people that I've learned so much from. One of the things 𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 mentioned is that last year in the United States, it was like, I can't remember what the number was. Let me see if I can pull it up. It was 70% US investors crypto, something like that. 70% of US crypto holders started investing in 2021. This was the big headline at the beginning of this year. And what 𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 came out to say is that this is not a good thing, right? Like, you know, the average guy is going to look at this and be like, yo, everyone's in crypto now, this is great. But the switched on guy that swallowed the red pill, that actually sees reality for what it is going to turn around and tell you, this is really bearish. Because what you have here are, you know, like these 70% are these, you know, the suit and tie, you know, investors with a decade of experience in university and, you know, like a proper like financial degree and all that. Like, no, these are average people. These are fathers, these are mothers, these are brothers and sisters and whatever, like just normal people. Normal people are not good investors. Like they panic, all right? And so if so many normal people are holding crypto now, well, I mean, they've already bought crypto. The only way they can interact with that position now is selling it, unless they're going to buy more. But most people are not deluded enough to just keep buying the dip and buying the dip and buying the dip because, you know, I mean, it would have been a horrible idea so far, you know? So, I mean, unless you're dollar cost averaging, in which case this is probably working out amazingly for you. But, you know, I think this is a really important thing to keep in mind. You're like, when you flush these people out, the only thing they can do after that is buy. And you don't want to be in a market where 70% of people just started last year. You know, you want to be in the market before those 70% enter. So what we're doing right now is washing them out. And I think that's really, really important to keep in mind. You guys talking about LUNA right now, saying LUNA is coming back. LUNA's just been stuck at 2 cents. I'm wondering, is the chart even trading? It's moving down in straight lines as well. It's very strange. I'm not sure if this is like legit price action. Let's check it out on Bybit. LUNA's been delisted on Bybit for one of its... Oh, has it been totally delisted? Oh shit. Has LUNA been delisted by Bybit? Because I know a lot of coins were delisted yesterday. No, I'm sorry. A lot of exchanges delisted LUNA. Yeah, there is no LUNA here anymore. Whoa, that's crazy. That's so crazy. There's no LUNA. Is there LUNA on spot? Yes, you can trade LUNA on spot. It's at 3.6 cents. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of price disparity here because the market is going crazy. Let's just look at this on CoinMarketCap, 2.4 cents. So, yeah, there's a big disparity here. Look at that sea of red. Look at that sea of red right there. Suspended temporarily. Okay, yeah, it was delisted on Bybit and Gemini. Old margin was delisted. Yeah, it's the bear market is also for washing away all the shit coins. Crypto space is just so full of them and can't wait for them to go to zero. Dude, that's so true. That's so true. You know, we see things like dominance going up. I don't know, dominance has been playing games, but dominance has been rising in general for Bitcoin. Where is it? Bitcoin dominance chart. It's not rising that much, to be honest. But you do see these, you know, shitty coins kind of, not to say that Luna is one of them, although as a joke I label every coin a shit coin. You know, but you know, you do start to see these smaller ones just kind of like lose a lot of their value, you know, at times like this, because guys, you know, these coins are overvalued. I mean, I don't even know why I have to say this. Like, the only reason I have to say this out loud, because this is actually really obvious. Like, you guys that even believe in your shit coins, like, you would know this. You would know that these coins are overvalued. Like, $8.6 billion for Polkadot. Like, can we just, one sec, can I just point something out to you guys? Like, the market cap of Ford, the car company, I'm not sure if you've heard of it, $50 billion. That's what every share of Ford is worth if you multiply it by how many shares exist. $50 billion. That's what Ford, the company, is valued at. And you're telling me that Polkadot is at 8.6? Do you know what I mean? Or like, we can actually look at this by market cap and look at where its market cap was before. Let's trace this back. You know, to its peak, Polkadot was worth as much as fucking Ford. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. And so these are just overvalued. But the problem is that people don't actually acknowledge these things if they're personally invested, right? Like, as soon as you've got money in there, it's like being drunk and looking at girls in the club. Everyone is hot. You know, like, that's what's happening right here. And guess what? You're hungover now. It's the next day. She's not that hot. And you just want to leave. That's what's going on with these coins. And that's why they crash so hard. So, you know, because there's so much exuberance on the way up, you have all these losses on the way down, right? To go from 50 billion to 8, do you know what I mean? Like, that's such a big drop. That's more than an 80% drop, right? Like, even Bitcoin hasn't seen this. And the reason you're getting these kind of moves is because they were so overvalued in the first place. But you cannot tell me that Ford, the company that's been around for decades and decades and decades, when was it incorporated? 1903. It's like, it's more than 100, it's 119 years old. Awesomely terrible analogy. Yes, sir, it is. There we go. That's what we come for. Smash up the likes, ladies and gents, if you appreciate these analogies. You know, to value a little crypto coin so high compared, you know, just to put it in perspective, I know you can't, you know, the little shit munchers are going to come out and be like, yeah, but you can't compare crypto to stocks and so on. I get it. They're different asset classes. But at the end of the day, bro, we're talking about where money is flowing, and we're talking about how much money is flowing into it. And, you know, these, yeah, it's just, I don't care how good your shitty project is. I don't care how cool the team is. I don't care how qualified they are. These things are just not worth where they're being placed, right? Arguably not even Bitcoin, although that one's a little bit harder to debate. And I actually really like Bitcoin, so I am biased towards that as well. But you know, I think these are very, very important things to keep in mind, because we start to see the market just sweeping this away, just sweeping it away. And you know, if you're not prepared for it, you're gonna get totally destroyed. Again, I just want to show you guys these 7-day losses, right? Look at these. Like, every one of these coins is down like half within the last 7 days. I mean, losing half your money in 7 days, ladies and gents. Come on. Like, you know, it's just not smart. But you don't get this. Like, you don't actually like understand this unless you've already lived through it. You know, or you're like super smart and you heed the warnings of people like myself who are warning that stuff like this is going to happen. But I mean, it's so hard to listen to a voice like that when the market is actively trending up, right? Like, I don't know if you guys remember with Matic. I got nothing against Matic. I mean, you know, it's just a normal shit coin that's overhyped as far as I'm concerned. even though it's a great project. It's, I mean, you know, it's just, I mean, you know, I remember like it was around over here that I was saying, you know, it was either here or here. I can't remember. It was probably here because this is where I drew the lines. Where I was saying that, you know, Matic is probably in trouble. You know, Matic has a big drop coming for it. If it starts dropping, it can really fall really hard. And, you know, you don't want to hear things like that when the market is going up. But that's the signal. That's the signal, is when someone challenges your idea and says, you know, your investment might drop, and you totally dismiss them. You're like, here's a super qualified guy that's been in the market for a really long time telling me my investment might go down. But this guy right here says my investment might go up, so I'm going to listen to him. You know what I mean? Like, you can only make a mistake like that once, and beyond that, if you're making it multiple times, you're just gambling. You know, that's the top signal. That is the sign that, you know, things are about to potentially get really, really bad. So, you know, obviously the market kept moving up a little bit, but then, you know, I mean, it just didn't really have much support to fall down to. And that's why we saw such big drops, right? The first major support was this box that I drew. And if you measure how much it had to drop to hit this range, it had to halve just to find its first area of support. I mean, it's really a big deal. I think it's a very, very important thing to keep in mind. And I'm only using Matic as one example. I mean, I've said this for all the shit coins, but you know, Matic was one of the bigger ones that I got a lot of flack for, because I said it right while it was approaching all-time highs. Because that's exactly where you get bearish, by the way, is when the market is peaking. Like, fuck me, right? Like, I like to sell when the market is up. Oops. You know, and so the point I'm making, ladies and gents, is, you know, you're here now. You're here. It's May 2022. Markets are pretty bad, and you haven't left yet. You know, and so here's what usually happens. Here's what happened to me: is you'll make a lot of mistakes, you'll lose a lot of money, and you'll have a decision to make. Do you stay in the market and keep trying, and maybe something good comes of it, or do you take your losses, accept your defeat, and leave? Go back to your job. You know, maybe you ran up 4K to 50K and you're now down to 6. Maybe you ran up 10 to 30 and you're now down to 7. Whatever. Do you just take it and go? Or do you stay in the space and actually do things correctly now? This is like, you got these two paths ahead of you. And you know, obviously, if you want to take things seriously and move forward now, one of the things you need to be able to do is dismiss all of that euphoria. You know, one of the first things that I say to VIP members, when you join VIP, you're going to get, this isn't live. Yes, it is, 𝗙𝗙𝗡. This is a live stream. One of the first things you get when you join 4Fly's VIP by following these steps on screen with your 25% discount that's available right now is you're going to get a welcome video recorded by me in California way back. I'm going to re-record that, by the way. And in that welcome video, one of the key things I say is, as a trader, there should never be any space for happiness or sadness, right? This is a really, really important thing. Like, if your investments are going up and you're getting happy about it, like, I mean, okay, a little bit of happiness is fine, a little bit of sadness is fine, but if it's more than a little bit, and obviously this is very hard to define, because how do you measure happiness unless you have like an ECG scanner or something? Like, I don't know how you can measure your brain responses to this kind of stuff, but a bit of common sense. We're all adults here. You know, if you start like peaking in those ways, that is a sign, whether it's, you know, positive or negative, that is a sign that you're in too deep. You know, so it you know, you gotta be able to dismiss these things. There's a process for this. There's a lot of ways you can achieve that. And they're foolproof. I mean, in my experience, if you do them, like if you just do them, it'll work. Like it's not like it can't work for somebody because of their abilities or something. No, like if you just do it, you'll be fine. This is exactly what we go through within the 4Flies VIP group, within the 4Flies Academy course. It's the best time to be in right now. I mean, the market is volatile. People are scared. And here we are being the wolves, completely okay with it all, planning our moves in order to rip gains in this market. All right, I suffered a small 10% loss 2 days ago on Bitcoin, and that's totally fine because that came directly after a profit where I hit plus 201%. So, you know, losing 10 is no problem. And so, you know, if you want to see how this is continuing to move on, a lot of trades that I've got planned right here, and I'm watching them closely, giving VIPs updates on what I'm seeing and all of that good stuff. That's all happening right here with the first link in the description down below. We got more than 22,000 of you guys who've already joined that group where I'm giving you more free analysis around the clock. And then you can join VIP by clicking on my name in this red box and then send message in this red box right there. So there you go. I'm going to open it up to your questions now and then go to a little bit more analysis plus altcoins and some other suggestions from you guys. So if you do have any questions, if there's anything in particular that you want me to look at, then let me know now and I will go ahead and do that. Also, if you have a question for me, just make sure to tag me. Okay, make sure to tag me by someone's just saying Luna was pumping, that's why I opened it. Write my name at @SammyLoyal with the @ symbol and tag me that way. Ladies and gents, smash up the likes as well if you're enjoying this live stream so far. I'm gonna be probably I don't know when I'll be heading off, but I'm starting to get a little bit hungry and I gotta hit the gym, so not sure how much longer we'll stay on here, but this is a good vibe so far. Can stay for a little bit longer. All right, good question. USDT lost its peg. Do I have any thoughts? Yes, sir, I do. I do have thoughts. Let me blow up my camera. One sec. Hello. Bam, right there. What's up? USDT. Okay, so stablecoins lose their pegs quite a lot. I'm not really sure why it's gaining so much attention right now. Obviously, UST, the Terra one, Luna, it didn't do so well. it lost its peg, and I mean, where is it now? I'm curious. Where is UST? I know they're working on it, but yeah, I mean, it's at 39 cents. What's happened to UST, by the way, just to put this in perspective, because a lot of you guys don't even know like some of the politics that's gone on in the rest of the world. What's happened to UST right here is exactly what's happened to I think it's like the Lebanese pound, Zimbabwe's currency, Venezuela. Like this that we're watching in crypto right now is exactly what so many countries have experienced over these last 5 years. It's exactly this. So I'm just putting this in perspective because it's quite a horrific thing, and I think people just don't know how fucking crazy it would be to like wake up and realize that what you considered to be a safe currency, that I mean, you never even questioned it, you just store your money in it, you just wake up one day and it's like halved in purchasing power. This is exactly what's going on like around countries in the world, and I just think it needs a little bit of awareness. So I'm not saying anything in particular about it, but I'm just letting you guys know if you didn't already draw those two things together. Now, with regards to, you know, these stable coins and their pegs and losing those pegs and so on, you know, what I would like to mention is, yeah, you know, UST did lose its peg and it's had a hard time getting it back. But it's quite normal for coins to get depegged. And, you know, and it's usually temporary, and it can be down to a number of factors. I mean, right now, I think the issue with Terra USD is that it lost its peg, and then people really started panicking and they started selling it, and that made the problem much worse. You know, that's generally how it goes. In normal circumstances, it's almost like this. You see, if everyone wanted to withdraw their money from a bank right now, most likely it would go horribly, and the bank would, you know, fail, and you know, they wouldn't allow people to withdraw, and it would be horrible. It would be like what happened to Greece in the 2010s, and you know, and so that would be a problem. But if people are kind of slowly taking their money out, it's not a problem. You can handle that. You can handle that load. I think that's what happened to Terra USD. But generally in the past, when these stable coins have been depegged, it didn't really matter. You know, they just got it back. You know, they just printed, more, if it went up, they just printed more USDT or whatever, or if it went down, they just bought more. And that's kind of it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So, we take a look at the, let's just take a brief look at USDT right here. Do I have gold in my portfolio? No, sir, I don't. I don't have gold. Not interested in gold, to be honest. I've got Bitcoin, so look at this. I mean, see, this is the thing. It's like it's down by 5%, and I think the only reason that we even saw this drop with USDT, obviously, this is the biggest stablecoin in the market, ranked number 3. Number 1 and 2 are Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think it used to be XRP. That was crazy. Yo, Ethereum's doing pretty well compared to Bitcoin, though. I mean, it's only half of Bitcoin's size. That is bloody massive. Guys, I just want to point out, I don't know if you guys have even thought about this, but Ethereum right now is exactly as big as Bitcoin was when it was at like $17,000, which was not that long ago. That was like, a year and a half ago. Bitcoin was at a little bit less. Bitcoin was at $17,000, which is bloody massive. It's really big, right? It's a very big price for Bitcoin, in my opinion, at least considering I've seen it from, its infancy at it's not infancy, but, $2,000, $3,000 is when I entered. Ethereum right now is that big. So I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like on that discussion of, you compare it to Ford. You know what I mean? Like Ford, $50 billion company, Ethereum, $233 billion crypto coin. Again, I know you can't really compare asset classes like this, but look, I'm just pointing it out. Anyway, back to the USDT topic. The only reason that I think this depegging happened is there was just a lot of pressure, a lot of people scared, pushing it. People like a bit of drama. You know what I mean? Like the whole GameStop thing. It's almost the same phenomena where you've got like a little bit of chaos among youths. Little roadmen that run around in London. They see a bit of a fight going on, and then just everyone flocks to it because it's interesting. That's what's happening, and that's what I think. Is what happened to USDT as well. It's just no big look. It's recovered. It's fine. These are stable coins. Like sometimes they fuck up. Yeah. This is why ideally you don't go into stable coins. You go back into fiat, like the real thing. You're not going to see the dollar collapsing like this. I hope not anyway, anytime soon. Like the real dollar. But every time you're in these stable coins, you're running a risk, and you need to diversify. You can't just be in USDT or UST or True USD or Binance USD. You have to you got to do like a bit of. Ideally, this is what I'm saying. Like, ideally, your home currency. Like, if you live in the West, for example, which most of you do, you want to go back into your home currency. The only problem there is you trigger a tax event because then you're liquidating, right? And that's usually how it goes with taxes. I don't have a solution to that because I moved to Dubai, so fortunately, I don't have to deal with that anymore. But that's how you're going to be safest. Beyond that. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather take the Bitcoin exposure than hold, I don't hold stable coins. People always ask me, like, can you pay me in USDT? No, I don't have USDT. I don't do stable coins. But if I was going to choose one, I would be choosing one that stood the test of time. USDT has been around for a long time. It's been around way longer than most of you guys, definitely longer than I've been in the market. And look, I mean, throughout, since it's, you've got data on CoinMarketCap, which is since 2015, which is like, isn't this like before Ethereum? No, it's probably around when Ethereum launched. I don't know. It got depegged a couple times, but it was no big deal. It was no big deal. On this occasion, USDT fell 3%. So what? On this occasion, okay, a little bit of a steeper drop, about 9%, 8%. Sometimes it spiked up. It reached 7, it went 7% above $1, but it comes back. So, I mean, you count it. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it fluctuates. This is not the real dollar. It fluctuates. I mean, how many instances did it get depegged? I mean, this is so normal. I really don't understand why people are so upset about the depegging right now. Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes it's going to go wrong like it did with UST. Obviously, it went horribly wrong here, but come on. I mean, UST launched in 2020. Like, do you really want to be putting your money in something like that? You know, like, because here's the thing: is if you're hedging, that means you're taking your money out of your active investment and you're putting it into somewhere safe, right? So this is not like a small bit of money percentage-wise of someone's net worth generally that you're going to be moving, right? Like, if you want to buy a shit coin, right? Like, say you want to buy, I don't know, what's a random shit coin? Let's see, someone's probably talking about Solana. Bam, there we go. If you want to buy Solana, you know, like, unless you're a diehard believer, you're probably not going to put all your money in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be a certain, you know, 3%, you know, like something small, maybe 20% if you're aggressive, whatever. You know, it's not going to be too crazy. But if you're hedging, it's going to be closer to 100%. You're going to put a lot of your money in there. And like, to me, I don't care how much research you can do, you know, how well informed you think you are, or any of those things. You know, if a stable coin has only been around for like a year and a half, you know, while the whole market was blowing up in like the best year and a half it's ever had, you know, I just don't see why someone would decide to put so much money in there. And I haven't talked about this in a while, but I used to talk about it, you know, and say the same things. It's like, look, I don't have a problem with USDT. I don't have a problem with any of these stable coins, but I'd rather be in the real thing. Like, you know, I mean, it's no small thing. This is the thing, ladies and gents. Like, so many of you guys just don't make responsible decisions with your funds because, like, it feels like you're living in some fucking fairy tale where you just click buttons and you make money. You know, like, this is how a lot of people behave in the crypto market. You know, like, their actions have no consequences. You know, that this isn't real money. It's just a game and so on. And so they don't take it seriously. But no, like, you know, depending on your bankroll, like, you could be moving around a fucking house deposit and you're going to throw it in some fucking stable coin that's existed for a year and a half. A house deposit, you know, something you can use for your family. You're going to bank on the research that somebody else did. You know what I mean? Like, come on. When you join VIP, one of the products we give you is called Trade Insane. It's a stupid name, but it's a package that I put together where I wrote an ebook on a lot of the key lessons, mainly around the psychology of being a trader, that I picked up on during my journey. And one of the things that I talk about there in one of the early chapters is that people don't respect their money. They just don't. And you probably don't either. I don't at times. And we really dive deep into what it means to respect your money. You know, and it's like, okay, on a conscious level, of course you respect your money, but really, what do your actions say? You know what I mean? Like, if you're putting all your money in Terra USD, if you're just on one exchange, you know, like if you're just on Bybit, well, to be fair, I'm happy being just on Bybit, but you know what I mean? Like, if you're just on one exchange and you got all your eggs in one basket, how responsible are you really being? You know what I mean? Like, you need to have a little bit, you know, like, you're going in these altcoins that are speculative, that haven't stood the test of time, you know, that, you know, it's only Bitcoin and Ethereum that are old in this top 10. I mean, you know, Binance, I'd be happy to bet on as well, although I hate Binance as a company, but I mean, they're doing phenomenally well, you know, and so on. But you know, my point is that generally speaking, you know, it just doesn't make sense to be so heavily invested in things that aren't super safe, you know, like, unless you're super happy to lose the money. But, you know, you're obviously not if you're upset right now. And so what I talk about in that product is you need to, you know, you need to respect your money, and you need to really evaluate, you know, what you're doing to indicate, are you respecting it or are you just dismissing it? Very, very important things that that I want to, you know, highlight and bring to your attention. That's in the ebook. What I've gone ahead and done is I've also recorded an audiobook for it and a video course for it. So you get 3 bits of content. All the content is the same, by the way. It's the same content, and it's the ebook, then I narrate it, and then I make a video course talking about it. It's all the same stuff. But the idea is you watch it in that order, and you're going to get the same lessons imprinted in your mind 3 times in a row. You can't possibly, I mean, you can. People will find a way, but, you know, it's going to make it a lot harder to make bad decisions, you know, that you might end up regretting if you've, you know, kind of had that content hammered into your mind. Why do I hate Binance so bad? They're a horribly irresponsible company. They don't take responsibility for their mistakes, and they massively fucked me over out of... Whoa. Whoa, that's an earthquake. That's crazy. There's so many casual earthquakes here in California. Anyone in California right now in LA? Did you feel that earthquake? It was small. It only lasted like 4 seconds. I remember I live in Dubai. I live in the Burj Khalifa, you know, the big one. And there was once an earthquake. It was like a month and a half ago. And by the way, I live at the top of the Burj Khalifa, like really high up, higher than any other human on the planet, other than people that are in planes, on mountains, or in the Burj Khalifa. And the building starts shaking. And I'm like, yo, fuck this. This is not... And I knew I'd be fine, right? I knew it'd be up to spec, and, you know, they'd build they'd build it properly. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was funny. But yeah, so that's all in the Zaid. Are you the Zaid I know? But yeah, that's all in the Trade Insane package. You get that for free when you join VIP, by the way. So again, these are the steps on screen right here. Oh, okay, someone's here in LA but didn't feel it. Yeah, it was quite small, to be honest. It's quite small. I'm just super sensitive to it because I grew up in London, and London's like, I mean, other than, you know, the violent crime, London is like super safe. I mean, the UK is so safe. Like, we don't get natural disasters. We just get wind and rain, you know, like it's pretty boring. So anytime I'm in a place with an earthquake, I feel it straight away because it's just such a foreign sensation. I would have low-key shit my pants. Mate, I did. I was on the phone. It was 3 a.m. when I was in the Burj Khalifa. I was on the phone with a friend of mine in England, and the building starts shaking, and I'm tripping balls. I'm like, yo. I told him I'm in the Burj Khalifa and it's shaking, and I was like, I was looking out. I was like trying to figure out, like, because I had never, Dubai doesn't really get earthquakes, so I was like, and I knew this because I know where, like, I studied like a lot of geography. I know where the tectonic plates are and stuff like that. I prefer to live in places where there aren't earthquakes because I'm irrationally scared of them, and so I was like, yeah, this is not the vibe right now. Like, I would rather not. Because the funny thing is, right, a lot of people don't know this, but see, like, every building, it's got an emergency staircase to go down, and it would take you down to the ground floor, but not the Burj Khalifa. If you're above, basically, like, level 40, you can't go down to the ground floor. Like, it's impossible. Without taking a lift, and that's the fireman's lift, so I can't use it, you can't go down. So the only refuge you have is going down to, like, you know, floor 70 or floor 40, somewhere around there. And you just wait in a safe room. You know what I mean? So earthquakes are not the vibe out there. That's for sure. Anyway, let's bring it back to the video. Guys, smash up the likes if you're enjoying this one so far. We've just crossed 1 hour, just about nearly crossed 1 hour on this live stream. Thank you all very, very much for getting us to 650 likes. Let's pump this thing up to 1,000. We can get there pretty easily. So if you are enjoying this live stream so far, do me a favor and smash up those likes. That's the USDT question. I want to take more questions from you guys. So if you do have them, then please drop them down in the comments. Okay, here's a good one. Ron is asking 100K this year. So Ron is asking, will Bitcoin hit 100K this year? I had a question. I had this exact question today. Last night, and my answer was a very firm yes, and it still is. And here's the reason why I'm so positive that we're going to get $100,000 or, you know, very high Bitcoin this year, is because you know, once this finishes, because I do anticipate, look, nothing's guaranteed. I might be horribly wrong about this. I'm not like a genius, by the way. I mean, you know, I'm just taking calculated, you know, risks, and my calculations could be wrong, and the risks could go badly. I mean, there's a million things that can mean that I'm going to be wrong about this stuff, and that's why, you know, ideally you want to do this on your own, and make your own conclusions. I wouldn't even say, you know, like, listen to other people. You want to listen to your own voice. I mean, the only reason I'm able to speak so confidently is because I only listen to myself, you know, and I test my stuff, and so I know that I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, what I want to draw your attention to is this. You know, let's establish one thing real quick. Bitcoin can pump 20% in one day, or in a very, very short space of time. Bitcoin can pump 20% like it's nothing. Yep, we're in agreement about that. You know, here's a beautiful example. It's up 40% in 10 days. You know, I mean, to pump up 20%, it took Bitcoin 4 days. Okay, so Bitcoin can, you know, just randomly, it can turn on the pump switch, and it can just go crazy. Right over here, you know, just about 2.5 weeks, we're up by 36-37%. Okay, so very, very obvious that Bitcoin can pump up by quite large amounts, and it can do it very casually. Here's the thing: if we manage to get like a 20% pump right now, that took, you know, only a few days, that would put us at, you know, 35. Okay, let's say we get to, you know, the real level that's relevant here is about 36. So let's say, you know, 36, 37. We got to pump up to here. We're now trading here. We find a bit of resistance. If we manage to come down, find a bit of support, and rally up higher, and we break this resistance area, this is probably the best thing about the market right now, is that you see previously, in order for the market to be very bullish, in my opinion, we had to reach this level. We did, and it faked out. This was just bad luck. But, you know, it would have to reach, like, you know, the mid to high 40s in order to be very bullish. Now that number is down at about 36,000 in my opinion, because of how much it's dropped. So the bar is just lower. You know, it's almost like you know, someone like comes out of rehab because they had a drug addiction. You know, now you don't celebrate the fact that this person is eating vegetables and drinking a lot of water. You just celebrate the fact that they're not drinking alcohol. You know, like the bar for what's impressive is lower, and that is exactly what I think, you know, we could be looking at right here, where you know, I mean, it can get people excited again, is the point, right? So we get this we're probably gonna get like a 40% pump in one day again. You know, I mean, it happens. It's normal. And so, you know, if we got something like that, that's going to clear a little bit of resistance for us. We, you know, move up a little bit more, and excitement is going to come back into space, right? Excitement is going to take us back up to the mid 40K range. If we break the mid 40K range, this is where there's not much resistance left on the chart anymore. Like, we only have resistance, pardon me, really like strong resistance up to these lines, in my opinion. Right, every other bit of and there's a lot of resistance areas you can draw. Bam, take a look at this. A lot more resistance zones that, you know, you can be watching, you know, reasonably. But they're just not as heavy as the resistance zones that we have here. You know, between 30,000 and basically 50, kind of like around these areas. It's just the resistance up ahead, like in this range, is just not as strong as the resistance here. So if we manage to pump through this, here's the next thing, right? Is if Bitcoin manages to go from this low now to the previous high that it set right here, that's an 88% pump. Like, do you not think that's going to gather a little bit of attention in the media? You know, a lot of mainstream attention. These 70% of US investors that entered in 2021, many of whom have sold now, you know, they're going to be looking to buy back in because they don't have Bitcoin anymore if they've panic sold, right? If you've sold Bitcoin, you don't have Bitcoin anymore to keep buying. I'm sorry, to keep selling. And so, you know, they get back in, excitement carries the market, and then look at how quickly things can change. I mean, if we I'll literally show this to you. Like, let's imagine this actually happened, because this is not like crazy to imagine happening, you know, like Bitcoin does this quite regularly. You know, if we just suddenly pulled off a move like this right here from our current price, that already puts us at $55,000. Like, come on, if this is what the chart prints, because I'm just showing you how quickly we can move up. You know, like, you're talking about by the end of this year. Well, it's the middle of May, right? We're not even halfway through the year yet. And this happened, what I've just shown you here, how long did it take for this to happen? This happened in a month and a half. You know, we've got like 6 months, a little bit more than 6 months left in the year. You're telling me that we're not going to have anything like that for the rest of this year? You know, like, even in the worst years for crypto, you know, like 2018. In 2018, we still had, you know, a move like this right here. The price doubled with this move, by the way. This is from 6,000 to 11.5. You know, the price doubled. And I can't really show you this with our current day chart because it's only a $6,000 move, right? So it's not that, you know, it doesn't look that significant. But if you take this in terms of like doubling the price, you know, because that's basically what happened, we'd have to go from 28,000, just under double. So let's call it to 55,000. It's going to start looking a little bit more like this. We'll move this one to the side. You know what I mean? Like this is just if we stretch it out, because before it was a $6,000 move, but obviously if we go up by $6,000 now, it's not going to do anything. So I'm taking the percentage gain, and the percentage gain was probably like, you know, plus 95%. So this is probably a plus 95% move. Yeah, plus 90% roughly thereabouts. You know what I mean? Like even in the worst of years for crypto, you know, 2018, it was a horrible year. Nothing happened. 2018 came around and the market just trended down. Right? Look, this was the first day of 2018. It was a cursed year for crypto. You know, it's just moving down and then it's moving sideways and then it's dumping even more. But we still got big moves to the upside. You know, that's my point. That is my point, ladies and gents. And so if we get something like that again, which to me, in my opinion, is just a matter of time, well, my question is, will excitement follow through? Will fear of missing out follow through? And if it does, how quickly might the market move in response to that? Because it can be really, really quick that we turn things around if that excitement comes back in. Like Bitcoin is a beautiful asset. I love it to bits. I love using it and spending it. I love the philosophy behind it. I can talk for hours about how cool it is. But at the end of the day, it's still a very speculative investment. People don't buy Bitcoin because the technology is cool for the most part. Most people only buy Bitcoin because they want to make money, right? And so if that's the case, you know, we're going to get that speculation coming back in. And it's just not too crazy to imagine that that kind of power is going to take us up to 60K. You know, like, especially when you consider that above these yellow lines, according to what I've said, resistance gets weaker. So if resistance is weaker and it only takes, you know, a month of stupid price action like this to really turn things around, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully you can kind of get, like, hopefully you guys are like picking up what I'm putting down right here. You can get what I'm saying right here, because this can happen really quick and it can happen almost out of nowhere. And again, like the thing is it's not like this is unusual. Michael from Swansea, Wales. I've never been to Swansea. Always wanted to. I love Wales. Wales is the most underrated part of the UK. Nobody talks about it, but it might be like the best. Might be the best part of the UK. I love the Welsh accent. If I could do a Welsh accent, I'd be a happy guy. I'm happy now, but I mean, I'd be much happier. I wish I could do a Welsh accent. See what else we got here in the comments. Thank you all for smashing up those likes, by the way. Where are we at right now? 750. We're so close to 1,000. Guys, if you haven't done it already, smash up those likes. Do you think we're creating a floor, or do you think there's more space to drop? What's your thoughts on where in the timeline you think break the all-time high? Well, again, it's hard to say because, look, I don't know when we might break the all-time high, but what I'm saying is that if we do, and I think eventually we will, obviously, I'm saying it could probably happen very quickly. You know, like, again, we just need to break the resistance levels here, and then these ones will almost take care of themselves, the way I see it. So really, the only battle that I see to break $69,000 is that we need to get above this swing high. That's it. If we get above this swing high, then reaching 69,000 is going to be a breeze. It's going to be easy. That's just what I'm seeing. You know, obviously, I might be very wrong about that, but I don't think that's going to be the case. You know, because I mean that's generally how it goes. Is when we break, you know, when we finally break resistance. Look, see, this was $20,000 resistance right here. Let's play the chart back. You know, we had this $20,000 resistance area. When we managed to break it, we flew up, right? So when we break resistance, things get really easy, you know, like put it this way, right? Let me put this in perspective. One sec. I gotta order a bit of food because I'm hitting the gym, and do you know what? I don't think I have time for the gym anymore. One sec. This is the life of a gym bro. Shit, I don't have time for the gym. Oh well. So I'll still eat anyway. Oh, that's a shame. I really wanted to go to the gym today. It's okay. Anyway, I'm here. Here's what I wanted to show you. Here's what I wanted to show you is, you see, this is not a good example, but let's take this. Nah, this is not. Okay. Let's use this. This will work. This will still work. Okay, take a look at this. So for Bitcoin to go from $10,000, which was right here, to $20,000, it took 55 days, okay? And there was, you know, a fair bit of resistance here, because if we zoom out, you know, we had a little bit of price history here. We had this area that was offering resistance. We had all of these, you know, tops that were going to potentially offer, which did, you know, it did offer some resistance. By the way, this move right here, if you remember in VIP, I traded that, made a huge profit, one of the biggest of my life. That was very fun. Obviously, we had the resistance right here. We had all the trading that took place right here. Look, there was just a lot of small stuff offering resistance to the market. So it took 55 days for Bitcoin to get from 10 to 20K, to rally up by 10, or in this case, $9,000. Okay, that's done. Now, for the next $10,000, look at how quickly that happened, right? For the next $10,000 from 20 up to 30, it took Bitcoin 20 days, right? Look at that. That's a $10,700 gain, 19 days. All right. So that's nearly a third of the time. That's nearly like 66% less time for the market to rally up. And the reason we were able to do that is because there was less resistance, or in this case, there was actually no resistance, because we have never traded in this range. At that point, we had never traded in this range before. So there was just no resistance. Here's another great example, right? Let me show you another great. This is just classic TA. I'm not talking about anything complex whatsoever. I'm not. This is very normal TA. All right, here we go. So we've got, let's use a different chart, because I'm just trying to figure out like how best to talk about this, because I need to be very accurate with what I say so as to not confuse people. This is one of the hard things about being like a YouTube live streamer for TA, is that I got to be conscious that many of you guys, English is not your first language. It might not even be your second or third or fourth language. So I always need to pick my words very carefully so that I'm understood. But it's nice. I love it. I love having such an international audience. Here's the thing. So we established, let's draw some support resistance areas on this chart. I'm going to use boxes because I think it's a little bit smarter to use boxes. So here is one range right here. This is 40 to 42. Here's another range right here. This is 46 to 49. Here's another range right here. Another couple reversals. I mean, I'm basically drawing boxes all over, but you can see like this is generally where reversals took place, right? I mean, big reversal right here, moved up, reversal right here, bit of resistance right here, big resistance right here, a couple tops right here. These are decent levels to be painting as support, right? And so if we look at the market moving down now, here's the thing, is that on this occasion, we already knew where each of these levels were. Like, it was possible to draw each of these four boxes when the price was here. All right. So there was a little bit of support that we could expect on the way down, because look, we interacted with these levels before. All right. We found these reversals and so on. So it was easy to say that, you know, we might find support at these levels. Now, that's not the same case over here. Over here, you don't have such a clear picture of where support might be, because you're only, you know, and so if I had to draw this again, just using this chart, I might draw it like this and like that and Yeah, resistance right here. This one was kind of obvious. I'd probably put a line right here. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would look like this. This is my point. Like, you wouldn't really know where the support areas are because we didn't really find resistance on the way up and so on. I mean, there's a bunch of there's a bunch of reasons that you can't really accurately draw these support areas. And so the market just didn't really have any support. So it's quite easy for the market to plummet down. Again, the difference is that if we play this chart forward now and we look at what happened the next time the market started dropping, because it established, you know, shit, what am I doing here? Bear with. Because it established, you know, a little bit of resistance right here, a little bit right here. It bounced off this level right here. So this was a key level. This was another key level. Consolidation here. You know, because we had more price action, it was easier to say that, you know, we can expect support on the way down. And that's why this dump happened slower. You know, so this is the point that I'm trying to get across to you guys, is that where we have a lot of price history, and by extension, a lot of support and resistance, the market is going to move slower. But if we throw on the VPVR, which is a beautiful indicator to visualize this, you're going to get a really good idea here of how much trading has actually happened below this green line, like in between these two green lines. Look at how much trading took place, right? The VPVR, for those of you who don't know, pause the live stream now and type this into the YouTube search bar. This is my tutorial on how to get and use the VPVR. Unfortunately, this is a paid indicator. Although, I don't know, did they... Guys, let me know in the comments. Did they make the VPVR free now? I think they have made it free now. I think they have made it free, but let me know because I forgot. You guys are still talking about Luna. What's going on with Luna now? Most of the time you guys talk about Luna, nothing's actually happened. Okay, it's at 3.6 cents. So it is recovering, but I mean, it's a bit of a joke of a recovery, really, isn't it? I mean, you know. Was the VPVR free before? The VPVR was not free. The only way to access the VPVR indicator in the past was with a paid trading, any paid plan, but you needed one that's paid. I've got a link in the description, by the way, if you want to help out the channel and check that out. I think it might be free now. I forgot. I'm not sure. But exactly, yeah. It's not Archmage laughing at the pump on Luna. Like this, I get it. Like percentage wise, it's, you know, I mean, it's up from 2.5 to 3.7. I mean, it's whatever. It's a big move, but come on, dude. Like it was at $1 yesterday. I don't know how people get so excited by this stuff. So yeah, it's not free. It's still not free. Okay, so unfortunately, you know, not everybody can use this. But look, I mean, you know, you're a trader, and I mean, a paid trading view plan is what, like 20 to 50 a month. You know, like if you can't afford that, then you probably shouldn't be trading. Oh, Luna is at 5 cents. Well, it depends on what you're looking at, obviously, because you know there's such a big difference between each exchange. Anyway, what I was saying here is, sorry, one sec. Did I read the number correctly? Yeah, I did. What I was saying here is, you know, the VPVR is a beautiful way to visualize where, you know, volume has been exchanged. You know, so basically we can see a big spike right here at 38,500. And what that's showing us is that if we just draw a box in this range, that's showing us that a lot of volume for Bitcoin has been exchanged at this price level, which is another way of saying that people seemed to be very interested in Bitcoin at this price area, and a lot of Bitcoins were exchanging hands, so to speak, at this price level. That's what the VPVR shows us. It's called the volume profile. So you can see there's a lot of spikes right here, and as soon as we get above this high, the spikes end. Or I should say they end probably like around over here. So basically at like $50,000. As soon as you get above $50,000, look at the VPVR. It gets a lot smaller. There's just not that much exchanging of Bitcoins going back and forth compared to what was happening in the past. Very, very important note. And so, yeah, I'm seeing that yeah, if there's a little bit of excitement that enters the market, takes us to you know, whatever, the high 30s, and we do a few more bullish things and we break 49, like that's it. Like as soon as we break this prior swing high, I'm going to move this line back down. As soon as we break this prior swing high, if we do, there's just not a lot of resistance left. So I'm expecting it to be a hard grind to get back up here. But as soon as we do, it's as good as being at 60K already, in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. And hopefully that's making sense. If it's not, and you have any questions about that, please let me know. But that's why I'm so confident that we're going to recover. Because, I mean, we've seen moves like this before. Like, for fuck's sakes, guys, this is not the first time Bitcoin's done this. Can we please keep that in mind? Like, I don't know how people are forgetting this. Like, we literally had this happen last year. You know, like, and it was a worse dump than this. It was much faster. You know, and then we had the coronavirus thing in 2020. Like, come on, if we survived that, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, we had what happened in 2018. It always recovered. It always recovered because this is Bitcoin. This is like an actually useful asset that people like. I mean, they're not buying it for that reason, but it's got that going for it. It's not like Luna or like Solana or to some extent even like Ethereum, where people are only interested to make money. You know, and the really delusional people will read the white paper and then say they also are convinced that the project is legit after they put their money in there, you know, because their friends told them about it, or they watched a really bullish YouTube video about it, and then they lose all of their objectivity. But for the most part, people are only in those coins because they want to make money. And as soon as they can't make money anymore because they're crashing, they're not interested anymore. Right? Like as soon as the dude gets the girl out of the club, back to his place, and he gets what he wants, a lot of the time, you know how it goes. Just not interested anymore. This is how people treat crypto coins, but they drop them even faster. You know, because if you're buying something exclusively because you want to make money on it, and it's very clear that it's A, not making you money, but B, instead is losing you money, why the hell would you stay in? You wouldn't. You wouldn't stay in at that point. So that is what I'm getting at. Hopefully it's all sitting well with you guys. Let's go through some more questions. Good questions so far, ladies and gents. Thank you all so much. A lot of people want to know my thoughts on Luna. Look, here's the deal. First of all, by the way, we're at 800 likes. We're so close. We're so close. If you're watching and you haven't hit the like button yet, do me a favor. Smash it up. Smash it up. We're so close to 1,000. Got to get that 1,000. My thoughts on Luna. Look. Luna is not a scam project. Luna is a legit project. Still a shitcoin. They're all shitcoins, but it's a legit project. And it's respected by good people. Obviously, there's just a lot of fear in the market. And fear is an emotion. Okay? So emotions don't last forever. And, you know, one of the things I appreciate is that the team is actually being quite open about how they're trying to fix the problem on Twitter. Go ahead and take a look. The team is quite open about this kind of stuff. And so, you know, I think they're going to be able to do, you know, at least something. And again, when there's so much fear in the market, I just don't see this kind of, you know, move being sustained and that Luna just died. Now, the one thing that really does concern me, okay, is that Luna has been delisted. Luna has been delisted all over the place. Binance delisting it is a big deal. Binance delisting Luna is like Apple no longer offering USB-C. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to genuinely affect adoption of... As mentioned previously, what have I done? As mentioned previously, Binance Futures will conduct an automatic settlement on Luna, which means closing positions, and then delist the futures contract at, I've opened this up again, at May 12, 3:30 p.m. UTC. So what time is it in UTC? 3:30 p.m. Yeah, so that's already happened. Yeah, that happened 5 hours ago. So pretty big deal. Pretty big deal, you know, and this is something that, like, up until this happened, I was actually pretty happy with the idea of buying Luna myself. Because this is the thing, like, they're actually trying. Like, they're proposing token burns. You know, like, this is not a team that's just sitting on their fucking hands and doing nothing. Like, they're actually trying. It's been relisted, has it? Yeah. So the delisting future is not spot. So you know what? I mean, yeah, and Bybit did the same by the looks of it. Can I please look at the dollar index? Yes, I will, Mike. Thank you very much for that. I've completely forgotten about the dollar. So anyway, my point is like, I don't like seeing these things delisted. Maybe they get relisted, whatever, but it's not a good look. But the thing is, it's at 2 cents, and you know, it was at 120. And okay, 120 was stupid. It didn't need to be that high. It shouldn't have gotten that high. I totally get it, and I firmly believe that, you know, that was stupid. But I mean, come on, like $20 is plausible. Come on, $20 makes sense. Look at this. So Luna is ranked. Wow, it is in the top 100. This can't be right. It's probably because of the fully diluted market cap. No. The real market cap is close. 1.3 billion. How is it 1.3? Yeah, it was a top 10 before. So what was it just before this shitstorm started? Shitstorm even. Luna's market cap, $33 billion. Okay. You see what I mean? Like, if you guys are looking at coins like this, yeah, Prime XBT delisted Luna. Yeah, I got an email about that. And they didn't rug pull, you know, like, these are not scammers. They didn't do something illegitimate. So look, like, I don't, you know, coins like this, I honestly see it moving like XRP in some ways. You know, the thing with XRP, right, is that other than the fact that it's the king of all shit coins, is that it managed to set its all-time high right here at $3.30. And by the way, this was back in 2018, and that makes me so happy because all you XRP warriors didn't even get to see that all-time high again. That is brilliant. That is just so perfect. It set its all-time high right here, and it's never been able to. It might, but it's been 4 years, and it still hasn't. Okay. And it only managed to recover back up to, you know, basically 2/3 of its previous all-time high, and it spent most of its time trading around, you know, 33% of its previous all-time high. So, you know, we go back to Luna, and if Luna does something similar to that right now, and it pulls an XRP in that way, you know, let's say it rallies up to like 70, but it's never able to get higher than that for the next like 4 or 5 years. Why could it not stabilize at 30? You know what I mean? Like, why is that so hard to believe? Because as long as they fix the issue, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not even that. It's not even what I've just said. It's also just the fact that it's at 3 cents. You know what I mean? Like, if it were at $5 or $10, I'd be like, okay, you know, like, I don't know. There's still a little bit. But, you know, look, it could keep dropping down. It can fall down to half a cent. It can fall down to, God knows. I mean, you know, it can fall down to near zero. But when you consider where it was before and the fact that it's so low now, do you know what I mean? Like, I just, 2 cents. Now, the catch and the problem and the reason I haven't bought it yet is that I was saying the same thing in my head. I didn't say this out loud. When actually with my team as well, I was talking to our lead analyst behind VIP about it because we wanted to buy it. And that's when Luna was at 70 cents. And I was like, you know what, though? It still has more room to drop. And the thing is, if you look at how this moved, now obviously this is the weekly time frame, but if we zoom in onto the 1 hour, look at this on the logarithmic chart because it's just going to be a little bit easier to analyze. You know, when Luna was at 70 cents, it was like right around here. Okay, so let me move the chart. This is so hard to show you because the dump's just been so crazy. You can't, like, I mean, it's just horrible. Look at it. Absolutely insane. You can't even show this on the linear chart. So here's the logarithmic chart. Around here, like 60, 70 cents. The problem is there was still a lot of room for it to drop. To go from 70 cents down to where it is now is another 96% drop. Like, people just don't keep this stuff in mind. People just don't. I don't know if they don't know it or what the deal is, but people just don't remember this. Like a 96% drop means that if I put in $1,000 here, I'm gonna have $40 here. 40. So I've already nearly lost all of my fucking money. And the amount of times Luna has had a 95% drop in the last few days is bloody ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, let me show you. Let's go back like 10 days now. Okay, so it's the 12th of May. If we go down to the 2nd of May, which was right here, 2nd of May, bam, right. Okay, let's take this peak just to make it easy. From this peak at 88 down to this low right here is already a 33% drop. We trace this lower. We need the logarithmic scale for this. To get let's go for a 90% drop, all right? It suffers a 90% drop when it falls down to $8.44. That's a 90% drop. The next 90% drop happens when Luna reaches this price area right here, which is 91 cents. Bam, drop another line right here. And it drops another 90%. Do you see what I mean? Like, you're literally gonna have $0 left by the end of this. The way it keeps dropping. And the next 90% drop, we haven't had it yet, but oh no, we have. Never mind me. Yeah, no, Luna has already pulled it off. Do you see what I mean? Like, and this is all in the last week. Like, literally, or maybe in the last 8 days. It's had 1, 2, 3, 4 90% drops. I mean, what is the math on that? Can I put this in a calculator? I'm going to show you guys how bad I am at math now. This is going to be a little bit embarrassing. But let me try it. So let's say you put in $1,000, right? Times times 0.1. That's a 90% loss. And then say you had that 4 times in a row. Okay, look, I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? That says it all. Because what you're doing here is you're putting in $1,000. You lose 90% of it. You're now down to 100. All right. So if you had $1,000 up here, where I showed you a few minutes ago, over here at this green line, you're at $100. Your $100 loses 90% from there, and now you're at $10. All right. And the math is pretty obvious from here. From $10. You lose your 90% again, you're at $1, and you lose your 90% a final time, which is where we're at right now, and you're at 10 cents. All right? $1,000 becomes 10 cents. I mean, it literally evaporates overnight. Well, I mean, over a week. Again, this is why the crisis that's hit countries like Lebanon is so horrific, because when it happens to people in crypto, like, I don't even, like, want to feel sorry for them. I mean, I do, because, like, there's the suicide hotline shit, and, like, it's, like, if you look at the Luna subreddit, like, people are genuinely suicidal right now, which is horrific. I don't like it. I don't want to be insensitive about it. It's not good. But, and there is a but, and this is where, like, I'm just going to go out and put my fucking balls on the line and just say exactly what's on my mind right here, ladies and gents. And you know what? Like, I'm, like, kind of sorry if I offend. I am sorry if I offend. Yeah, I don't want to be a dick about it. But look, we're adults, all right? We need to have some element of being responsible. Like, if you walk into a casino and you're willfully negligent about the fact that it is a casino and it catches you off guard, what do you even do about that? Like, that's not okay. Like, as an adult, like, you can't be making mistakes like that. And so it's super sad what's happened, but if this has hurt you, you were way too overinvested. You know, like the point I make in situations like this is that if you put all your money in Luna and UST, if you are one of those really unlucky people, you would be exactly the same fucking person that opens the door to masked robbers and lets them in the house because they say they want to check your boiler, or they say that they want to check your plumbing. You know, and you would just believe them because you're that gullible. You know, okay, maybe that's a bit of an extreme example, but these are people that would, you know, just kind of do other stupid things. You know, these are people that would drink and drive and see no problem with it, you know, and stuff like that, you know, like, and drink and drive badly, I should say, because, you know, some people can do it, but most people can't. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the point that I'm trying to get across right now. To go from $1,000 to 10 cents, you know what I mean? Like, to get anywhere near to the kind of money you had before, like, let's say you want to get back up to $200. You know, you're fine with an 80% loss. I mean, to get back up to $200 from this 90% loss, you'd still need to. I can't even do this math. Hang on, let me try it from here. 86 down 80%. Yeah, Luna would have to get back up to $16. You'd have to get back up to. I mean, what is this number? 509. That's 223,509%. You got to rise up by 223,509% to close an 80% loss. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's such a bad position. In order to still register an 80% loss, is that a 2,000 times gain? It's got to be more than that. 200. No, it is a 2,000 times gain. You need a 2,000 times gain. I mean, it's. So, yeah, I mean. Look, by the way, I think Luna can do that. Like, I think it's within the realms of possibility that Luna can get back up to, you know, like $10, $20, stuff like that. I think it's super possible, because I don't think, you know, I mean, I think it's a shitcoin, but I don't think it's like a shitcoin. You know, I don't think it's like, you know, the other like literal shitcoins that are like Bitcoin SV, you know, or whatever. You know, like it's just, I mean, they're all shitcoins, aren't they? So, you know, I do see Luna as being, you know, a higher tier of shitcoin, and I fully. Yeah, accidentally spat the water out. And I fully see, you know, Luna being able to. Well, I don't fully, but I definitely see Luna being able to, you know, recover these gains. And that's the point that I really, you know, want to make. And by the way, I gave this, you know, math with $1,000, but this is a lot more horrific if, you know, if you put in 100,000, this is 100,000, and you saw the same loss. You know, then you're down to $10. I mean, 100,000 down to you know, going from $1,000 down to 10 cents is no big deal in my opinion compared to this. It's the same percentage drop, but you know, whether you have 10 cents or $10 doesn't really make a difference. You know, like, it's just not going to buy you much. But if you go from 100,000 to 10, you're you know, I mean, that's a whole house that you could have bought in a lot of countries. You know, so Mike asking for the dollar. I will get to the dollar. Bear with. Yeah, 100% I will get to the dollar. So those are my thoughts on Luna, and that's exactly why I'm not like totally comfortable buying it, is because, you know, for it to pull another 90% drop, because bear in mind, guys, I mean, these things can keep dropping 90% forever. I mean, you're just going to get closer and closer to zero, but you're never going to hit zero. Right? So another, you know, I mean, it can do this again. I'm not saying it will. I mean, it's hard to imagine it's going to keep on dropping, but I mean, let's not fool ourselves. Look at that. And this is all assuming, by the way, that you bought Luna at $80. You know, how many people actually bought Luna at $80? You know, I'm guessing. If I don't need to guess. Let's look at the volume. I don't need to guess this. Look at where the volume comes in right here. So a lot of people would have bought Luna around here. That's fine. They're doing okay. Oh, well, they're not. Everyone's lost money on Luna. Fucking everyone's lost money on Luna. But, you know, let's see where some of these spikes are on this chart. Okay, so we're getting some big volume spikes around here. A lot of people buying Luna around, okay, like the 60, 70 region. Another few volume spikes right here. Now we're up to like 70, 80. Yeah. So, I mean, 60 to $80, I'm guessing, is where you can say a lot of people would have bought Luna. Actually, the numbers fit for that. So, moral of the story is fucking diversify at least. My God. My God. Look, altcoins are not worth the time, in my opinion. I mean, this is why you don't see me talking about them and trading them in the way that these other, you know, shitcoin YouTubers are doing. My strategy is primarily focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum and the majors, you know, the big ones. And it's about getting in the market, timing it right, making a nice, consistent, sustainable profit that I can do again and again and again, and then leaving. Let me put this in perspective for you. If you're working with that same $100,000 and you manage to pull off a 1.1 times gain, which is a 10% gain, you're up to 110, which is cool. And a 10% profit is super easy to achieve. You know, let me put this in perspective for you. If you buy Bitcoin right now and you're trading with 5 times leverage, Bitcoin only needs to go up by 2% in order for you to register a 10% profit, right? So Bitcoin needs to go from where it is right now, 28.7 to 29.3. It needs to move up by about $600. I mean, it's super achievable. Like, you know, it's easy. I mean, you know, to pull a 10% profit is just not that hard. If you manage to do that, you know, 5 times in a row, you start tapping into the compounding power. In fact, let's take a slightly more aggressive number. Let's go for 20%. You know, you do a 20% profit 5 times in a row, you're up 2.5x. You're up 2.5 times. You know, you manage to pull it 6 times in a row. Now you're up 3x. You see what I mean? Like, this compounds very aggressively. You do it 7 times in a row. Realistically, you're not going to be able to do this. You know, you're going to register some losses in between. But, you know, the difference between 5 of these profits in a row and 6 is enormous. And if you're just aiming for stuff like this, you know, for a 20% gain, it's just way more predictable. You know, like, you're never going to have to worry about something like what's happened to Luna happening to you. You're never going to have to worry about it. And that means, you know, you can, you know, keep your money in safer places. I mean, this is money at the end of the day. Like, it's not something that you just casually throw into, you know, a stable coin that's only existed for a year and a half. For God's sakes. I mean, you got to have respect for your money, ladies and gents. And so this is a much more sustainable way to trade, in my opinion. And the profits are not small. You know, like, it's not like you're losing out if you do something like this. You know, this is 6 in a row. We hit 8. We're at 430K. You hit 10. Where are you at? 620. These are only 20% profits that you're compounding constantly. You get 10 of them in a row. And again, you're not going to get 10 in a row. Obviously, it's not going to be that perfect. You're going to register losses. But 620K, you know, like, the math tells you everything you need to know. You know, if you're trading on 5 times leverage, let's say I want to go short, right? Let's say I sell Bitcoin at 5x right here. I only need Bitcoin to drop 4% from 30,000 to 28.5. I only need Bitcoin to drop down to 28.5. So, you know, $1,500 drop. That's it. And I'm already going to register my 20% profit. You know, like, it's just not that hard to pull off these kind of gains, and it's way more sustainable. So look, I mean, this is just me showing you the carrot. You know, if you want to actually, you know, be able to eat the carrot and get it, that's a different story. And yeah, there's more to it. This is what we cover inside of ForFly's VIP. This is it. This is what I do. This is what I do as a trader. And this is what I'm showing you how I'm executing, you know, what I'm doing, what exactly I am executing and so on in these markets right here. So that's all going down inside of ForFly's VIP. And the way you can get a piece of that is by following these steps on screen to jump inside. This is what I'm preaching. Every time I make a trade, I put the exact information of what I'm trading, where my entry level is, where my stop loss is, which targets I'm going to be using to take profits on the position, and so on and so forth. It is a different style of trading. It's so much more stable. It's so much more safer. It's so much more safer. And again, the numbers speak for themselves. Like, you're not sacrificing profit. You know, like, profit potential is there. Believe me on that. So there is a lot going on. Not only can you watch me do it with all the explanations of why I'm doing what I'm choosing as well, but you can also learn the whole process behind it all by getting access into the 𝗪𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗦 Academy course. And again, most of you are going to have that for free, depending on which plan you take when you join VIP. Most people do. And on top of that, yearly members, like I said, you get phone calls with me as well. Super popular. You know, it's been very, very successful. So there's a lot, and I'm not explaining it all because, you know, I'm on a video. So if you want the full information, then again, just follow these steps on screen, pause the live stream here, and follow them on screen right here. I'm gonna take a final look at the comments and then go through the dollar index. By the way, I'm gonna make a video specifically about Luna and the losses and what to do about it. I'm going to be unpacking some of the because I think it needs a bit of attention. You know, like the suicide stuff that's going on the subreddit. That's not cool. You know, it's not cool that people want to hurt themselves because they've lost money. Even though I think there's so much stupidity going on. Like, if you're, fuck me, like, I read one story, there was this guy that, like, is going to lose his house because he invested in Luna. Like, that is lowest of the low in terms of financial responsibility. I mean, it's, I don't care how sensitive you are, or if, like, you know, if suicide's a particular sticky subject for somebody, like, come on. You know, like, if one bad investment is going to make you lose your house, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're making that kind of bad decision, it's not Luna that's the problem, it's you. You would have done it for anything else. So I want to talk about that. I'm going to make a video about it. Make sure you're subscribed for that. I'm also planning another video on Luna recovering, the path to Luna hitting, you know, perhaps $50, $10 and so on. I'm going to make a video about that. That's coming up. That's already planned, by the way. I'm going to record it later on today, so make sure you're subscribed for that as well. Yes, a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, there you go. It comes back to like the Shiba incident. 100%, exactly like Shiba. How long are the phone calls with you? As long as you need, man. You know, it's usually like around an hour, but there's no time limit. I mean, I usually will set aside a good like hour to 2 hours to speak to, but I mean, yearly VIP members can like literally like any time. I mean, you know, we have to schedule the call. Obviously, I'm not just like on tap, but we almost always schedule it the next day, and yeah, it'll be like an hour or two. But it depends on what you need. You know, I mean, if it needs to go longer, then that's fine. If we need to reschedule and do another call afterwards, that's fine too. It's unlimited, really. I mean, we've never hit an upper limit because no one has ever abused it. So it's as many as you want, as little as you want. Some yearly members have never spoken to me, you know, and that's fine too. It's really up to you. So anyway, that's all right here. All you got to do is click what's on screen, and that will take you to it. Once again, Bybit is the only exchange where I'm ripping these trades. You know, and if you want to be able to trade on that same exchange, then check it out with the link in the description below, because when you sign up using that link, you're also going to get some free money deposited into your account as a thank you for using my sign up link. Okay, I got to wrap this up, so I'm going to take one quick look at the dollar, and then I'm done. So let's take a look at the dollar. I've got like, how many minutes? 2 more minutes. Yep, okay, so dollars continue to move up. It's at a 5-6 year high. It hasn't been at this level since 2002, and it is very, very concerning because it's not stopping. The next resistance that the dollar has is around the 106, 105 area, and I'm definitely expecting it to stop rising if it approaches those levels, at least temporarily. But as far as the big resistance goes, it doesn't have any until probably around the 120 area. So if the dollar manages to rise to 120, that can literally very easily put Bitcoin far below 20K. Just given how extreme it would be, that would not be pleasant. So anyway, that's the dollar. I do have to go. I don't have any more time left for this YouTube video, for this live stream. Hopefully we've hit 1,000 likes. If you haven't already, guys, smash them up one last time if you have been enjoying this live stream. I'll talk more about the dollar and everything later on. I'm going to make another video later on today. So just make sure you're subscribed for that. Oh, we're 8 likes away from 1,000. Come on, let's get those last 8 likes in. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, you know the deal. If you want to support the channel, if you appreciate this content, Bybit, just sign up, make your first deposit, check it out. It helps me out a lot, and you get free money for it, so it helps you out as well, which is brilliant. If you want to get inside of VIP, then these are the steps on screen as well. And with that, I am going to be heading off. So thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. We've hit nearly 2 hours. Beautiful stream. We covered a lot. I'll do more of these as the market stays volatile. Thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your day. Likes, subscribe, tick the bell, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.